Hey everybody, Melissa Harmel here, realtor with eXp Realty Alaska. It's episode 4 of our Home in Alaska show, and I am so excited to come and talk to you today with one of my favorite Alaska home loan professionals, Rhonda Johnson. Hey Rhonda.
Hey, Melissa.
So Rhonda Johnson's with Cornerstone Home Lending, and today's topic is inflation. It seems to be the concern of many of my clients right now, and I'm sure her clients. And I'd love to get Rhonda's take on inflation. So, Rhonda, tell the viewers how long it is you have been in the mortgage industry.
Well, Melissa, I think I started when I was about 12 or so about 38 years ago. Yeah, so I've been doing this a while and seen a few of these different cycles go through, as have you, right? Because you've been doing this quite a long time as well.
1998 is when I got my
Yes.
license. So,
Yeah,
yes, it's been a
yeah,
minute.
yeah, exactly.
So, question,
hmm
because I I don't think I really understand what the word inflation means. So, can you explain it in relation to how it affects life as a potential buyer or seller in this crazy real estate market?
Yeah, it's a really kind of a mystery word, right? Because everybody talks about it, and then it's like, but what does that really mean to me? Why is this so important? So it'd be like, so let's say, Melissa, that we are out and we're garage sailing and we find a basketball. It doesn't have any air or anything in it, and they want $5 for it at this garage sale. And so you ask the person, does it still hold air? And they say, well, yeah, it did when, last time we had it aired up. You want me to go ahead and put some air in it? So you say, yeah, sure, let's go ahead and put some air in it and just check it out. So he goes over to his little air compressor, blows it up, and it's perfectly good basketball. And he says, here you go, it'll be $10. And we're like, wait a minute, what happened? You put some air in there and now it's worth twice as much as without the air in it. He's like, yep, that's inflation. So that's kind of a funny little way of talking about inflation. Um, but what it is it's basically what we pay for something right now today could cost a lot more tomorrow, but nothing really changed. So what changed to cause that? I heard another story from, actually, it was one of our governors who said, when I was a young man, I had a lot of hair and it would cost me $5 for a haircut. And then as I got older, my hair started thinning, but it cost me $10 for a haircut. And now I'm almost bald, but they charge me $20 for a haircut and I have not near as much hair. So what changed? Why does he have to pay more? And could you just imagine what would happen if our hairdressers cut our hair depending on the thickness or the length of our hair? So that's all inflation, and it all kind of boils down to, let's just say that right now a barrel of oil is $75, and suddenly it goes up to $100 a barrel. And we're very likely going to see that, right, with what's happening in the world right now today. And so when you think about it, where is that oil used? How is it used? And all the different services that are going to be using that same barrel that today costs $75 and tomorrow might cost $100. And so that means that every single service is going to cost more because of the cost of that barrel of oil. So it's going to cost more to deliver the goods. It's going to cost more to make the goods. It's going to cost more to manufacture them. So everything boils back to what those core prices are.
So, today, again, I kind of look at the news and kind of take a peek at what's happening in the world, and based on what's happening with the Russia Ukraine little conflict, not a little conflict, a big conflict, is I
Conflict.
think oil prices are now at 105.
Yeah.
So, question for you is, because I would think that inflation would cause interest rates to rise. I know that that's not always true with the bond and the stock market and all that, but is it a true statement that the interest rates will rise when we are going through inflation based on
Absolutely.
the percentage of what the inflation amount is.
Absolutely. And here's the reason why. Because if I loan you $100 today, but you don't pay me back for a month, in a month, my money is going to buy me less, right? Because inflation
Oh,
caused the cost of goods to go up. So I can't buy near as much with my $100 in a month as I could today. So if I'm going to loan it to you instead of just loaning it to you for free for 30 days, I might say, yeah, but I want you to pay me back $110 in 30 days because I'm not going to be able to buy as much with my same $100 bill in 30 days as I can today. And you're the one that got to use it. So if we're loaning out money on 30-year fixed rate interest rates, and then inflation starts coming into play, that money we loaned out when we get paid back is not going to be worth as much as when we loaned it out. So the only way we can recoup losing that money from inflation is to charge a higher rate right now so that we try to keep up with what our payback will get us later in the future.
so,
So,
okay, so inflation rises, interest rates rise.
correct.
And that's typically how it's always been. However, I think we can both say that over the, I mean, 2021 was a seller's market, low inventory, totally different market today. Even though it's a low inventory, it's actually a scarce market.
Mhm,
And so buyers need to be talking with their loan professional, someone like you, and
mhm,
making sure that this is being explained to them, that it's not somebody evil raising interest rates. It's because they're predicting the future cost of goods to be more. So
mhm.
consequently, if I'm going to let you have money, I get it. That money's not my dollar is only now worth 75 cents in the
Exactly,
future.
exactly. Right.
Okay.
And what happens is inflation is like the arch enemy of the bond market, right? Because the bond market is reacting negatively to higher costs in the future. And so a lot of times what you'll see is then you'll hear all this information about the Fed's cutting or increasing the Fed funds rate. Well, the interesting thing is that it's a little confusing, but when the Feds do that, they're trying to stop inflation. And because inflation is the arch enemy of the bond market where we get our mortgage money from, then sometimes when you hear the Fed's increasing the Fed funds rate, we actually see a slight improvement on the long-term mortgage rates because we know the government is there trying to reduce inflation. And so now we don't have to charge as much assuming inflation in the future. So it's really a mixed bag of what could happen when you hear the Feds may increase the interest rates. But sometimes for long-term loans, it's good. For your short-term loans like car loans, boat loans, snow machine loans, Visa cards, that kind of thing, not so good.
Okay. Okay, so totally great information. I now understand what inflation really is. It's the prediction of the cost of future goods.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, so awesome. And right now, interest rates still are below 4%, correct? Average interest rate, although interest rates definitely are based on other things, and we'll talk about that in a different show.
Hmm.
However, interest rates do still remain at around four, under four, correct?
We're pushing over fours.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely over the
So
fours right now.
because everybody's been talking in the news about inflation, now interest rates are catching up with that conversation.
Correct, correct. And sometimes multiple times a day. And
Oh,
so, oh my
I
gosh,
guess
I've
I
had,
forget about that. See, my thing is I list a property, I put it on the market for a certain price, and we don't change the price during the day.
right, exactly. But we live in a very fluid, real world of the markets and what's happening. And we could talk this morning and I could say, for your particular loan, this will be your rate. And then you say, well, let me go talk to my spouse or my co-borrower or whatever, and I'll get back with you. And then you call back a couple hours later and say, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. I reprice it, and it could be a different rate just that quickly. As fast as that stock market moves, we can see those interest rate moves because it is everyday live pricing, and it goes up and down just like the bond market does and the stock market does. So we really
So
need to be decisive.
So important lesson here is get hooked up with a mortgage professional that has your best interest at heart and knows this information, because waiting could cost you.
Absolutely.
However, waiting could be your friend. Again, it's nobody has the perfect answer because a mortgage professional doesn't control the rates. They just get to price them and share.
Yep, we get to be the information tool that tells you what the markets are doing right now today, but what they're going to do this afternoon, I can't tell you. We didn't know what was going to happen last night and what kind of an effect that was going to have today on the markets. How could we know that yesterday until it happened?
Great.
So
Okay, well, great information, Rhonda. I think the viewers definitely have a different, simpler understanding of inflation. I think listening to an economist can just rode over my head. I think this was super simple and I appreciate it. Remember, every week, guys, we do a new show. So if you follow me here on YouTube or Instagram or wherever you're watching this, you know that I'm a big believer in sharing information so that you make great decisions as a consumer in purchasing and selling real estate. So Rhonda and I will be doing a weekly show answering questions, common questions about this real estate market and how the mortgage loan industry and the real estate market are very closely tied together. And we will see you guys next week. So have a great day.
have a good day.
Okay, so